Hey, you are most welcome to my channel. So today we shall be learning how to create a keylogger in just 10 lines of code using Python. My name is Ronnie Atwairo if you're new here, and I'm glad that you chose this particular channel for this type of content. So let's get started. So basically, before I get to start, I would want us to know what exactly is keylogging. So keylogging is basically one of hackers tool, and it's a basic tool that you can actually use to log what a user is pressing. So it's basically called keystroke logging, and it's a process of recording those keys pressed on the keyboard, and usually actually unaware. It's also known as keyboard capturing. You can call it keyboard capturing. One of the use cases is for troubleshooting technical problems with computers and business networks. So other people use it for malicious intentions, and this channel is or this video is intended for only educational purposes. So a hacker or a script kiddie can use this for another unethical purpose, but as I said, this video is only intended for the right use. So how are we going to capture? So I'm going to create a new file, and let me just open VS Code under this desktop. I just open my VS Code, and we get moving. So I'm going to create a new file. Let me call that file let me call it logger. I'm going to call my file logger. Okay, let me just call it keylogger. So as the file is being created, so one of the most methods to use out there, we have keyboard module, and we also have another module called py user input. Then we also have py input. So in this video I'll be using py input. You could also try out keyboard. Then you could also try out something like let me see, what's that? You could also try out something like just a second. This code is still troubleshooting. Yes, I think we're good to go. Okay, you could also try out something like py user input, but since I'll be using this module here, I'll be using py input. So if you don't have py input, please be sure to pip install this. So if you just have to do pip install, pip install, then this package. Let me just put it here. Since I already have the package, I don't need to pip install anything, but I could just bring it and show you what exactly I'm talking about. So this will make sure that it loads that package in there. And we shall also be using logging. Logging is a module that defines functions and classes. We implement a flexible event logging, and actually for system applications, libraries, and we shall also log our messages in a text file with timestamps. So logging, you don't have to pip install logging, and yeah, I think we are good to go. So come back to our file. So when I'm going to start by getting some of our classes that actually are defined in there. So we are using py input. So from py input dot keyboard, we shall import key for stroking. Then we shall also import a listener to help us in listening. Then we shall again now, since we're going to log our information to a text file, we shall say import logging. Now let's now initialize our logging information. So to do that, to just say logging dot basic config, and under here we shall have a file name, and our file name, we can call it anything. I'm going to call main keylogger dot text. Let's do a text file. It's actually txt, I think, yes, and that's going to be our file name. And be sure to put this, actually it's kind of like, I think, a typo. Just be sure to put this inside parentheses. Then our level is going to be let's put our level to debug mode. So we can say logging dot debug. There are like around 3 levels, and one is info, one is error, I think. No, the one is info, debug, and some other level, then and warning, I think, something like that. So then our format, since we need time since we need to have time in our text file, I'm going to create this. Let me just paste this clearly, and we shall have a percentage sign. We shall say ask time, then we shall do, let's put this in parentheses. Then there we shall just remove, then we shall now put our message. Actually, I shall actually put our messages. Let's just put this S here. Then yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Close off. Already closed, so we don't need this. Let me just close from there. Yeah, that's it, just basically for our logging. And now we're going to define a function. Let's define a function. We shall call this function, can call it anything. I'm going to call main on press. Let me just have this pythonically, and this function is going to take a parameter, which is going to be key. Then under there, what we shall just do, we shall just log our information. Simple. Then we shall log it as a string, which is key. Yeah, that's it basically. Now we're going to be able now to use our keyboard, our key and listener. So to do that, this is where now the magic comes in. To do that, you just simply have to simply have to open the listener. So we shall open the listener as it takes in a parameter. For example, we define a function called onPress, and as a method for onPress, and it has that argument. You could also define another one for releasing. Those are methods that are available, but let's just use onPress for now, since we only did one method. So we shall open it as listener. We're using context manager here, and it helps to handle resources. So after that, you're now able actually to join in. So to do that, you just have to say listener. Since we've opened it, we shall say listener, then we join. Yes, that's it basically. And I think this is supposed to be a small k, avoid errors. Yes, key, okay. And yeah, that's it. So we try running this and we see what actually comes through, because what we've just done, we've just created an instance of the listener class, which will be recording keystrokes, and it will pass on to the onPress function we just created up as an argument. Then we use the .join method to join it to the main thread. So basically it's a thread. It's just creating a thread process, a thread here, and after joining it to that, then we shall be able now to log, and every time a key is pressed, the listener is triggered and it calls a function on press, and then it logs our information, actually our keystrokes, into our file. So when you run that code, for example, if we go back to my terminal, let's just go back to terminal and we say keylogger key. What did we define our function as? Just a second. It's saying, okay, let's just save it again. It's not showing. So let's just say keylogger.py. So when it runs, it says there's an invalid argument, and this is because this Python script here is being blocked. If you're currently on Windows and you have an antivirus, you would want actually to go and first disable that antivirus, maybe for this particular file. So to do that is very simple, and what you need to do is actually start your antivirus, or go to your antivirus and see what is actually happening behind the scenes, because what we've just done is that is, if you have latest Windows, you can see that we've just created this script here and they are seeing it. The reason why it is even actually being flagged, because Windows inbuilt virus system and threat protection flags it automatically, and we cannot actually be able to do anything. That's why it says it's a hack tool, and it's telling you what exactly it is, and they say it's a Python keylogger. And for us to be able now to use that file, you see where the current threads are, because they automatically scanned every second. If you're on Windows, you just have to first come back to the file. You see the file is actually now deleted automatically. This shows that it's actually no longer there. So for you to be able to use it, you just have to control save again, come back to Windows threads, and automatically it will appear here. So right click on this high, then just say allow on device. So you allow. After allowing, and you say start actions, then if you're an admin, you accept, then you allow this file to be run. So now you come back and now you run our file again, and we see that we get here an error, perhaps forgot a comma. So we first go back to our script. Yes, we forgot commas, and we just put our commas. And if we run this file again, we should be good right now. No module named by input keyboard. So basically now we may be doing this wrongly. Just have to come back and cross check that actually this is a small letter of K, and you come back and run again, and you say we still have an issue from by input from key listener import error, cannot import name key. So we also have an issue with our key. So and I think it is a capital letter, yes, for the key. Let's try a capital letter and see. And if you run this, yes, I think we are set to go now. And if I start typing, for example, let me go and type something here in our VS Code. Let me just do a comment here and say on press method. It doesn't matter where you're doing the clicks or the pressing from, anywhere. So what you now come back and check now to be able to see if actually a Python keylogger has been created, a text file. So you come under here and you see that actually a text file has been created, and if you clicked on it, it shows you all the things we just created. For example, we started by pressing key caps lock and key shift. Then this was now starting to read the comment, and then we say on press. You see it's logging back later. On press, then space, key dot space, then method, then space. And if we went back and into our file, and doesn't matter anywhere, you can actually even come, maybe for example, even googling, you could maybe come to Google. Let's say for example we're here at Google and just type, maybe you're typing in your passwords. Let me say food, let me say food, let me say delete. Even if you do a backspace, actually food is good. So if you come back to our file, the Keylogger text file, you'll see that this has actually now been added, so with a timestamp. So you see that food space, and we did some deletion, some deleting to say food is good. Yes, that's it basically for today's video. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, give it a comment, and there's more you can actually do with Pi input, because basically what it does, it supports input devices, so you can be able to monitor and control keyboard and the mouse. So you can also control the mouse with this Pi input. These are the docs. You can go and read more about how you can actually handle and control these things. And yes, that's it for today. If you really love this, please, thank you so much, and subscribe. Yes, that's it for today. Have a great one.